everyone, this is Karen.
Welcome, my friends. I am Shane.
Today we're looking at a lesson called What Does M&M's Stand For Anyway? And the vocabulary words are found.
Found.
Thomas Jefferson founded the University of Virginia in 1819.
Melt.
Melt.
The warm weather has melted most of the snow on the ground.
Mess.
Mess.
We spent about an hour cleaning up the mess left by our guests.
Aboard.
Aboard.
Harry climbed aboard the boat, and the group headed off down the river.
Shuttle.
Shuttle.
Otis has a model space shuttle in his room. So we're talking about the yummy, yummy chocolate, yummy chocolate M&M's. Have you ever had M&M's? Are you a fan of M&M's?
Well, I think everybody has had M&M's, right? So what does it stand for? More and more.
Well, that
Give me
would
more
definitely
and
be
more,
right.
right?
I'm joking, yeah. But actually, it stands for two people's name, right? Mars and Murray.
That's correct. Kind of boring, right? But what do you say about M&M's? They melt?
Oh, they don't melt in your hands.
Well, they say they melt in your mouth.
That's right.
Not in your hands.
You're right. Okay.
They melt, in your
mouth, not in your hands, which is right.
Because chocolate is quite melty, right? So
That's right.
it could cause a mess and get your clothes dirty. So they have a candy coating around it so that you can pop it into your mouth. No chocolate here, and then
And actually, I think that, that mixture of the taste is really good, candy and chocolate together. And then they're really, really colorful.
oh yeah, so they're kind of fun too. I
Exactly.
think that's why kids like them. But if it's me, I don't really prefer candy-covered chocolate.
Why?
I just want like the best, most high-quality dark chocolate if I'm going to enjoy some chocolate.
You mean like the really, really expensive ones?
Godiva or something.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so fancy, right?
You are so fancy.
Okay.
But even the astronauts are crazy about them.
Oh yeah. Again, they don't melt.
That's right.
Okay, let's learn more about M&M's.
All right. Enjoy.
What does M&M's stand for anyway? M&M's are a delicious snack that comes in a rainbow of colors. Here are some fun facts about these candy treats. What's in a name? The two M's stand for Mars and Murray. M&M's were created by Forrest Mars, whose father founded the Mars Chocolate Company. His business partner was Bruce Murray, whose father was president of Hershey Chocolate Company.
Today's lesson is called, What Does M&M's Stand For Anyway? Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I'm Mike. And yeah, we're talking about that popular little candy. Those little M&M candies.
Yeah.
They sell them in little bags. It's got a big M&M on them. I think each individual candy has the letters M&M. We call them M&Ms. There's the well-known rapper Eminem, whose name is sort of, a little twist on the name of the popular candy. But what does the M and the other M in the name of M&Ms stand for?
We're gonna go ahead and find out today. M&Ms are a delicious snack that comes in a rainbow of colors. Yeah, you can have the chocolate ones, you can have the peanut ones, there are caramel ones, I believe, there are crunchy ones, I believe. The list goes on and on. M&Ms are delicious. Now, here are some fun facts about these candy treats. Mike, what's in a name?
Okay, so our first section is, titled What's in a Name? So what does the name of something tell us about that thing? It could just be a name, or there could be more to it, a little bit of history or something there. Well, it says the two M's stand for Mars and Murray. Interesting. Mars and Murray. Now, these could be names, of course. Murray certainly sounds like a family name, but Mars, well, that's a planet, right? The red planet, the third, or the fourth planet from the sun, Mars.
And Murray does sound like Mercury, which is another planet.
Interesting. So it could be something about that, or maybe it's just an unusual family name.
Yeah. M&M's were created by Forrest Mars. It's not a planet, It's a name. Yes, these candies were created by Forrest Mars, whose father founded the Mars Chocolate Company.
Oh, there's a Mars bar. That's a popular chocolate bar.
There is a Mars bar.
Right.
It's not the best candy bar out there, but it's still pretty good. I'm more of a Snickers guy myself. Anyways, here it says that this person founded this company. If you found something, you begin that thing. You establish that thing. You are there when that thing opens and starts doing what it does. For example, Thomas Jefferson founded the University of Virginia in 1819. That's when the university got its start, and Thomas Jefferson is responsible for that, or was responsible for that, because Thomas Jefferson is long dead. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. We know where the Mars thing comes from. Where does the Murray thing come from?
Well, yep, it's another family name. Now, that's not really a surprise. With Mars being a family name, of course, Murray was too. Who was Murray? His business partner was Bruce Murray. So Mars and Murray got together and made these, and it turns out that Bruce Murray also had a family history in the chocolate business. His business partner was Bruce Murray, whose father was president of Hershey Chocolate Company. Not the original Hershey, but the guy who took over later on. So here we have the Hershey Chocolate Company, the Mars Chocolate Company. They got together, and M&M's was the result, or one of the results.
That's one of the most amazing things I've ever heard. They got together, and M&M's came into being.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, let's go ahead and take a break. I'm going to think about that some more and be blown away by that some more. In the meantime, have a good break.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。同学们喜欢吃 M&M's 巧克力吗？说到 M&M's， 有的人会联想到一位知名饶舌歌手阿姆，他的名字 Eminem 听起来就像是把这种糖果的名称拿来做点变化。那我们补充一下 ，Mike 老师在开场时提到 rapper。rapper 就可以表达饶舌歌手或是说唱的人。好，那么今天课文呢，其实是要介绍一些关于 M&M's 巧克力的有趣事实。首先呢，我们看到它名称里面有2个 M， 分别代表了 Mars 和 Murray。老师们聊到说Mars 不是火星吗？然后 Murray 听起来好像也有一点像水星不晓得这个名称是不是跟行星星球有关？好，老师说的 Mercury M-E-R-C-U-R-Y Mercury 就是指水星。好，那么课文就写到说 M&M's 巧克力是由 Forrest Mars 佛瑞斯特马氏所创造的，那他爸爸就是创立了 Mars 巧克力公司。至于Forrest Mars 他的生意伙伴是 Bruce Murray 布鲁斯莫瑞，那么 Murray 的爸爸则是 Hershey 巧克力公司的总裁，所以其实 M&M's 这当中的2个 M 代表的是姓氏。好，那这边有一个单字是 found 当动词，它表示创立、建立的意思。那另外 Jeff 老师有提到 M&M's 有许多口味，像是花生啊、焦糖等等，那有的则是脆脆的。好，那么老师有提到 caramel C-A-R-A-M-E-L caramel 它表示焦糖。那么还有提到 crunchy C-R-U-N-C-H-Y crunchy 它是形容松脆的，咬起来会卡吱卡吱嘎吱作响的。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
What does M&M's stand for anyway? It melts in your mouth, not in your hands. In the 1930s, Mars saw soldiers eating chocolates that were made with a hard candy shell to keep them from melting. He loved the idea, and M&M's were born in 1941, though they were sold exclusively to the U.S. Army during World War II.
I'm still in awe. I can't believe it. I always thought that M and M just meant M and M. Mars and Murray.
That's right.
And their names.
And their names, right.
Oh my gosh. Mind totally blown.
You are shocked by all of this new information.
I can't believe it. Oh,
Well.
man.
Well, while you think about that, let's move on to the next section of our article.
No. I want to read this because this is the Eminem slogan.
Oh, okay. Okay. So do you want to go ahead and read
It
it?
melts in your mouth.
Yep.
Not in your hands.
That's right. That's the title of the next section of the article. And it's also, as you say, the slogan, the famous sort of advertising line from the M&M ads. They would sell them by saying M&Ms, they melt, or it melts in your mouth, not in your hands. It was that candy coating, you see, that would allow you to have an M&M and the heat from your hand wouldn't melt the chocolate, turning it into a big sticky mess. It was a much cleaner and easier candy to eat, and I think they still sell them that way. Because if something melts, especially if it's something sticky and sweet like chocolate, it can make a real mess. When something melts, it turns from a solid thing into a watery or liquid thing because of heat. The simplest way to think of this is think of an ice cube that you put out on a table or somewhere on a warm day, and after a few minutes that ice cube will turn into water. It will melt.
If you take a tub of ice cream to the beach in the middle of the summer, what will happen to that ice cream?
It will become really sweet milk. In a bad way, because it will melt, of course. Exactly. The opposite would be freeze, when something turns from a liquid into a solid, or from a watery thing into a hard thing, then it freezes. The opposite, when it gets warm, it melts. For example, the warm weather has melted most of the snow on the ground. Yeah, sure. If the temperature goes above zero, that snow, that icy water will turn back into water. It will melt. Now, in the 1930s, it says, Mars saw soldiers eating chocolates that were made with a hard candy shell to keep them from melting. All right, so Mars saw these soldiers. They were eating these chocolates. Soldiers, of course, might put the chocolates in their pocket. They might be walking around in the hot sun. They don't want to have a mess in their pocket.
They don't want to have a big melty mess in their pocket in the middle of combat. Anyways, Mars, though, he loved this idea. He loved the idea, and M&Ms were born in 1941, though they were sold exclusively to the U.S. Army during World War II. If you wanted an M&M and it was World War II, you'd have to be in the Army to get one.
Oh, interesting.
Otherwise, no dice.
I think the Army was first in line for Hershey bars and Coca-Cola, too, around that time.
That's what I hear as well.
Yeah.
All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a break, but don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Jeff 老师以前都以为 M&M's 就只是一个糖果名称，没有什么特别意思，所以当他听完这个名字的由来时，他觉得很惊讶。好，这时候我们来学习几种表达惊讶的方式。第一个，你可以用 be 动词加上 in awe 来表达感到敬畏、感到惊叹的，其中的 awe 它表示惊叹或是敬畏。好，第二个用法你可以用 blow away， 这是表达说使什么大感惊讶，使什么惊艳。我们常常会用被动语态 be blown away 来表达被什么惊艳到，觉得叹为观止。好，第三种用法你可以用 somebody's mind is blown， 它其实是 blow somebody's mind 的被动用法，可以用来表达说某人感到极度兴奋或是激动，或是使某人大为惊艳、大为震撼。好，那我们现在就来看看第二个关于 M&M's 的有趣事实。It melts in your mouth, not in your hands。 哇，这就是 M&M's 巧克力的经典广告台词，只容你口，不容你手。在1930年代呢 ，Mars 看到士兵吃的巧克力外面有一层硬的糖果壳，来防止巧克力融化。那他很喜欢这样的点子，于是 M&M's 巧克力就在1941年诞生了。不过呢，在二战期间，它只有卖给美军。好，那我们先来看单字 melt。melt 它表示融化，使什么融化。那么刚刚 Jeff 老师用到 combat 这个字来表达战斗、搏斗，我们来拼一下这个字 combat combat， 在这边当名词用。好，那这边有一个重点是 keep 加受词 from 加上动词 ing 可以表达阻止某人怎么样，或是避免防止某事物怎么样怎么样。其中的动词 keep 你可以用 prevent 或者是 stop 来代替。例如 warming up before exercising can keep you from injuring yourself。运动之前先暖身，可以防止你受到运动伤害。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
What does M&M's stand for anyway? Astronauts are over the moon for them. M&M's are easy to eat and aren't likely to make a mess. That's why NASA included them aboard the Space Shuttle Columbia in 1981. To this day, M&M's, or rather candy-coated chocolates, can still be found on the menu for astronauts serving on the International Space Station. Classic, colorful, and fun, these chocolate snacks bring more to the table than just a sweet taste. Remember that the next time you reach for a bag of M&M's.
Okay, so during World War II, fun fact, you could only get an M&M if you were in the U.S. Army. How about that? How cool. Now here's another fun fact. Astronauts are over the moon for them. That just means they really like them. And I think I know where this is going. M&M's have been to space.
That's exactly right. Choosing food for space is a big deal because you don't want something that will float away in tiny pieces and cause problems in your spacecraft. And it says M&Ms are easy to eat and aren't likely to make a mess. They don't melt very easily. It's small. You pop it in your mouth. You don't have to bite it and have little bits float away, so they won't make a mess and, put chocolate in your spaceship, which is not good.
That wouldn't be good. You don't want to make a mess.
Chocolate and peanuts floating around.
You want the interior of your spacecraft to be clean and not messy. Yes, if something is messy, it's disorganized, it might be dirty.
Oreo cookies are not popular in space. No.
Nor are Ruffles chips.
No,
apparently.
potato chips in space, not popular.
Anyways, though, yes, if something is messy, it's disorganized, it's dirty, that would be the adjective. A mess is just a situation where things are disorganized and kind of dirty. For example, we spent about an hour cleaning up the mess left by our guests. What rude guests. Whenever I leave a party, I always try to help straighten things up for people.
Okay.
But not everyone is like me. Anyways, M&M's. Astronauts are over the moon for them. And that's why NASA included them aboard the Space Shuttle Columbia in 1981.
Okay, that's kind of right around when the space shuttles first started to fly on regular missions. And of course, those astronauts were in space for a lot longer than they had been before generally, so it was nice for them to have a little bit of candy aboard their space shuttle. When we use this word aboard, the preposition is talking about being on, or more accurately, probably in some kind of large machine or large vehicle. All right, you get in a car, you get on a bicycle, but you might get aboard something like a ship or a train or an airplane. It's a larger thing. You can kind of stand up and walk around inside it if you're getting aboard it. And of course, boats back in the old days, well, they were made of wood. You were standing on boards, so you were aboard the ship. And we've since carried that word, using it to talk about getting on a ship still, a train, an airplane, something like that. For example, Harry climbed aboard the boat and the group headed off down the river. And I guess the space shuttle is a large enough thing that, you'd say you're getting aboard the space shuttle.
Absolutely. Yeah. Space shuttle's huge.
Yeah.
Anyways, a shuttle is a vehicle that usually just takes something from one place to another and back. Now, there's only one space shuttle. They use rockets now, but they did used to have this space shuttle thing. I believe there were 3 or 4 of them, and they used to do missions. They would go to space and come back and then return, go back and forth, the same way a shuttle bus might on Earth here. Yeah, a shuttle bus might take you to the airport and back and might run on a regular schedule. But here, this is a space shuttle, a spacecraft acting like a shuttle, a regular shuttle bus on Earth. Anyways, Otis has a model space shuttle in his room.
Oh.
It's not the real thing. That would be far too large.
No, that would be a really big model.
Anyways, to this day, M&M's, or rather candy-coated chocolates, can still be found on the menu for astronauts serving on the International Space Station. How about that? If you happen to go to the International Space Station, you can eat M&M's there.
Absolutely. Bring your M&M's, but as you said, leave those potato chips on Earth.
Especially the ruffled ones.
Too many crumbs and stuff. So classic, colorful, and fun, these chocolate snacks bring more to the table than just a sweet taste. Yeah, they're more than just a sweet taste. They have a very interesting history. So remember that the next time you reach for a bag of Mars and Murray's, or M&M's. Yeah.
Anyways, that's it for the article, but we still have the what do you think question. Mike, what's the most interesting thing about M&M's? And what makes M&M's interesting to you?
Well, I kind of remember that Mars and Hershey were kind of the two big names in American chocolate history. I remember hearing about that, but I didn't know that M&M's actually came out by a partnership between these two companies. I kind of thought they worked in their own worlds and, you know, had some history that came together, but to know that they actually had a candy they made by working together, I didn't know that.
Amazing.
And it's better than M&H's. Mars and Hershey's.
It is.
That wouldn't work.
It is.
Yeah.
I also like the fact how it's actually kind of hard to say M&M's.
M&M's.
It's kind of hard to say.
If you say it too fast.
That's kind of fun.
True.
Anyways, folks, with that, our lesson is now in the books, and it's time to say bye-bye.
Take care.
好，第3个关于 M&M's 巧克力的有趣事实是，太空人因为他们而乐翻天了。好，我们可以用 be over the moon 来形容某人他非常高兴，乐翻天。好，那么因为 M&M's 巧克力它很容易食用，而且不太可能会弄得一团乱，所以美国航太总署 NASA 才会让这种巧克力登上1981年哥伦比亚号的太空梭上面。那我们来看3个单字 mess， 它表示脏乱、凌乱、混乱。好，它是当名词，在后面加一个 y 就会变形容词 messy 表示脏乱的、凌乱的。那 Jeff 老师在解释单字时用到 disorganized， 就是在 organized 前面加上 dis， 用来表达说缺乏条理的。好，那么单字例句写到说，我们花了大约1个小时来清理客人留下来的脏乱。Jeff 老师说，他通常都会留下来帮忙整理。那这时候老师用到 straighten up 这个片语，是表达说整顿、整理或是收拾整齐。那么其中这个 straighten 它是拼作 S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T-E-N straighten up。好，那我们下一个单字是 aboard。aboard 当介系词，用来表达在交通工具上面，像是在火车上啊，在船上，或者是表达登上这个交通工具的意思。好，那么再来看 shuttle 可以指太空梭或是接驳车，像我们看到 shuttle bus 就是指接驳公车。那老师们刚刚聊到说，如果你不是带巧克力，而是带那种洋芋片带上太空船的话，会留下很多的碎屑，不但会造成内部脏乱，也有可能造成严重的后果哦。好，这时候老师们用到 spacecraft 来指太空船或者是太空飞行器，还有用到 interior 来表达内部。我们来拼一下这个字 I-N-T-E-R-I-O-R interior 它表示内部、内侧。好，还有 crumb C-R-U-M-B crumb 可以指碎屑、面包屑、糕饼屑。好，那么Jeff老师说，像那种波浪纹的那种洋芋片这样子高高低低起伏不平的那种洋芋片，咬起来会留下更多的碎屑，对不对？好，这时候老师有用到 ruffle 这个字 R-U-F-F-L-E ruffle 当名词可以指折边、波纹，那么当动词可以表达弄皱、弄乱、使什么不平整的意思。好，那么课文最后写到说，直到今日，为国际太空站服务的太空人提供的菜单上，还是可以找到 M&M's 巧克力，或是更确切的说，叫做裹着糖衣的巧克力。好，这边用到2个重点，第一个是副词片语 To this day， 它是表达至今到现在还怎么样怎么样，像是 To this day, she still sleeps with her childhood teddy bear。 到现在，她都还是会抱着童年时期的泰迪熊玩偶一起睡。好，第二个重点。Or rather 是表达说更确切的说，那这是用来表示不同称呼或是表达更正确的说法。举例来说 ，Gavin took us for a drive in his new car, or rather his father's new car. Gavin 开新车载我们去兜风，或是更确切的说，他开他爸的新车载我们去兜风。好了，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Bonjour, my name is Claude Monet, one of the most famous French painters. I wanted to be an artist since I was a boy, but my father didn't support me. When I served in the military, my father said he would pay money to get me out if I gave up my dream. However, I refused. Then I went on to become an artist. In 1872, I made an oil painting called Impression Sunrise. This painting was about the harbor in my hometown. I painted the light with broken colors and fast brushstrokes. Since then, people have said my painting style was Impressionism. To capture the changing light of day, I painted the same thing many times. Look at these beautiful water lilies in my garden. I spent over 30 years painting them. People love my water lily series and consider it a masterpiece. Come take a closer look at these lovely flowers.
See you next time.